I think my favorite meal that I had in Japan actually was the yakitori that we had at the late night bars. In today's recipe, we're going to be trying to replicate that same flavor, but also making it a little healthier than usual. And since this is 5 minutes, we thought it'd be a good idea if we meal prep it for the week. So, let's get cooking up, guys. If you've never had yakitori, then you gotta go and try some out at your local Japanese restaurant. Today's recipe is gonna be focusing on trying to recreate yakitori at home without too much fat, so we can enjoy it without the guilt. So the ingredient list will be down in the description below, so make sure you get everything before you start this recipe. We're gonna be starting it off with 1 pound of chicken breast, 100 milliliters each of mirin and soy sauce, 50 milliliters of sake and 2 tablespoons of monkfruit sweetener, salt and pepper to taste, a couple sprigs of green onion, and we got some skewers dunked in water to finish. So the first thing we're going to do here is to cut the chicken into these little strips. We went for 1 inch thick on them, which was perfect when put on the skewer. Then you want to make sure you cut the green onions slightly larger than the chicken since it'll shrink significantly when cooked. It doesn't really matter too much how thick you cut either of these, but if you care about how it looks at the end, then make sure to cut them just like we did here. After you've cut the chicken and green onions into their specific sizes, let's put them on a skewer and season them lightly with salt and pepper. We don't want too much here since we're going to be covering them with the glaze as we cook, so be mindful not to over season here. Also, this step is totally optional, but if you have extra room for fats in your diet, then getting a nice ribeye for this recipe would also be a great option. You can also skewer these with green onions, but we just chose to skewer the meat on its own. Now let's get on to making the sauce for this recipe. You can usually find a teriyaki-like glaze on most yakitori items, so we're going to be recreating that but with way less sugar. Let's start it off by adding 50 ml of sake along with 100 ml of mirin. Once boiling, reduce the heat to medium-low and then add in 100 ml of soy sauce and 2 tablespoons of monkfruit sweetener. Then we're going to reduce this until a glaze forms where we can easily brush it over our skewers. This stuff tastes amazing, guys, and it's so easy to make. There's still a bit of sugar in the mirin, but by using monkfruit sweetener, we can reduce the sugar calories significantly. So now let's get onto the 2 methods of cooking that we can use to make these skewers. The first option is the easiest as it doesn't really require any special equipment. All you need is a pan, a little bit of oil, and some heat. If you're going to use a pan, then make sure to cook these for around 3 to 4 minutes on each side on medium heat, and then pour over the glaze so it can get nice and incorporated into the skewers. However, if you're going to grill these, I'd recommend you get a brush and gently coat the skewers 3 to 5 times every time you see the glaze dry out. This took around 10 minutes total with around 3 to 5 flips each skewer. This is the more traditional route, and the charcoal flavor really can't be beat. We use Japanese charcoal here, so it doesn't really smoke up the house, which is a much safer option if you want to do this indoors. If you're interested in getting the portable yakitori grill and the Japanese charcoal, I'll make sure to put a link in the description below so you guys can get yourselves one. Let's get on to my favorite part once again, which is going to be the plating. I talk about this portion in every video that we have here on the channel, but it really is the most important aspect when it comes to staying healthy overall. Meal prepping allows us to properly portion our food, which is so important when it comes to maintaining a healthy weight and choosing foods that are both delicious and extremely nutritious. When we find that we don't get enough veggies in our diets, then we can plan ahead and pack these bentos with veggies. When we find that we're low on proteins, and likewise, we can add a ton of protein to these meals so we can never go a day without missing out on our goals. We ended up adding around 150 grams of white rice along with some broccoli and 3 of each skewers to the meals. Each bento box with chicken came out to be 521 calories with 52 grams of protein, 51 grams of carbs, and 11 grams of fat. The bento boxes with the ribeye came out to be 739 calories with 31 grams of protein, 66 grams of carbs, and 41 grams of fat. Both of these boxes fit a different type of diet, so choose which one works for you. So that is really it for the recipe, guys. This was so good to eat and we had such a fun time making these meals for you. If you're looking to find some written recipes and a guide on how you can hit your fitness goals, then make sure to check out our cookbook, which goes over some of the recipes that we haven't featured on the channel. It would mean the world to us if you tried out those recipes, and we would greatly appreciate the support that you give to the channel. These meals were so simple and delicious, but I gotta say, the ones with the charcoals were way better than the pan-fried ones. It's totally worth investing in some grilling equipment, so make sure you go over the extra mile and put these over some charcoals. Thank you guys so much if you made it to this point. We're really so happy to keep making these videos for you guys, and we're so happy that you guys are watching. Make sure you like and subscribe and let us know what other recipes you guys would like to see on the channel. Hope to see you guys on the next one.